we are now on to our first client session of the day. Esther Kaltenbach, Senior SEO Manager at Xing, will talk to Botify's Tanya van Soest about the best SEO strategies for high-volume websites, from vital tools and reporting elements to cross-functional management. So welcome, Esther and Tanya.
Wonderful keynote. And now we're going to start with our first customer session. Modern strategies for managing high-volume websites. So I would like to welcome Esther Kaltenbach, Senior SEO Manager at Xing, to the stage and to this conversation. Welcome.
Hello. It's nice to be here. Thank you.
Esther, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you ended up coming into the world of SEO, and what is your role today?
Yeah, of course. For me, it started actually 13 years ago when I was working as a media designer. And I learned HTML by really building up my first own website, from the first HTML tag to the last one, without any CMS or template. And it was so much fun. And that was when my passion for technical topics actually started. And when I was studying about 10 years ago, I was working at a publishing house in different departments. And when I came to the e-commerce department, they were actually relaunching their website. And SEO was, of course, a huge topic. And it was so much fun. And I decided to do a one-year traineeship to SEO, especially after my studies, because it was so much fun working at that on that SEO relaunch back then. And yeah, after that, I worked 6 years in different agencies in Germany as a SEO consultant, and until I finally found my way to the in-house world last year. And at Xing, I am part of a small SEO team, mostly responsible for technical topics, such as crawling management and indexation management. Yeah.
All right, wonderful. So from a homegrown interest in all things technology to where you are today leading a big team at Xing, can you tell us a little bit more about the brand and how it has evolved from a job-seeking community to more of a overall job support portal?
Yeah, actually Xing started in 2003 as a business network for the DACH region, so Germany, Austria, Switzerland. And back then, the focus was on the whole network effect, and Xing built products around that to support that, like communities, for example. But the brand realized already years ago that people are using the network to post jobs. So we also built other products for the job-seeking area, such as job postings, classic. And right now we are in the middle of a kind of a focus shift towards that. So we try to focus on the job seeking, not only the job seeking, actually more the whole job satisfaction area, so also improving your current work situation. And really build products around that and put the whole job satisfaction in the middle and not only the network. And when it comes to Xing as a platform and in terms of SEO, it's important to understand that we are a network, so we have a huge logged-in world, of course. But for SEO, we always need to focus on everything that's logged out available, because the Google crawler is not logging in. So we always handle these two kind of worlds, logged in and logged out.
So going from a networking to a job portal to an overall job support platform, that's a lot of different types of content, both user-generated and non. I'm curious, how many URLs exist today at Xing?
So overall, with everything, also duplicated URLs and stuff like that, we have something between 60 and 70 million URLs, but within the Google index, it's only 10 millions. But to mention our user profiles, one of our core products, we have 21 million URLs of that. So there you can see that it's kind of a difference. Yeah.
And I'm curious, what size of team does it take to manage that? And what does the structure look like?
Yeah, of course, at Xing we are 3, soon 4 SEO managers. So a small team, like I said. Our new colleague will completely focusing on the new jobs area, because with Google for Jobs and the new focus, there will be a lot of work to do there. And we other 3 are focusing on the people search, so the user profile, the whole editorial content we have on our page, and like the whole SEO strategy above everything. And we are divided according to areas of expertise, so content topics, technical topics, and the whole strategy, but also into product. So we have a lot of product teams, and we try to have at least one SEO manager for each SEO relevant product team to consult and support. So for example, the logged out user profile would be one product. The start page is another product, the job post is another product, so, and we try to also have one responsible SEO for every product.
Sounds good. So a lean and mean team that is growing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with all these different focus areas, how are you defining your KPIs, and how is this being reported up and agreed upon?
Yeah, of course. Actually, in SEO, we have the same KPIs as in other channels. So registrations have been and still are one of our main KPIs, because we still want to be a growing network. But apart from that, for the whole jobs area, we are looking into ad clicks, for example, or people applying for a certain job. And SEO is having a big role in that, actually. So without the jobs area, SEO is like contributing 1/3 of the registrations of the platform. So that's kind of an important area, and the management is also aware of that. So we are reporting that on a regular basis. Yeah.
Right, makes sense. So getting into a more technical topic, how do you ensure that all pages are indexed, visible, and linked with both the user-generated and the non-generated user-generated content?
Yeah. That's actually a big topic, because of our website size, crawling and indexation management is like the basic or the most important job. And our goal is, for the indexation, our goal is to only index high quality pages that really have a value for our users. And that's if you take like our focus product, the user profiles, for example, it's kind of a hard challenge, because you always will have these, non-active users or profiles that are not properly filled or something like that. So for that area, for the profile section, we decided to really calculate our own quality based on the content of the profile. And then based on that, we index or de-index the pages automatically. So we don't have to do anything manual there. And that's how we guarantee to don't have any low quality pages in the Google index. But also apart from that, we also need to link to these pages, and it's still millions of pages, even if we exclude some. So here we are working with directories as well as in other products, as well, like for the editorial content or the jobs content, we are working on that, but directories is a real big topic for us, because there we can ensure that every indexable page gets at least one link, and then we work further from that. And then we also, in terms of internal linking, we have different areas on each product where we try to cross-link products. We are working with the quality again, so we can say, okay, in this section, we only want to link to profiles with a certain quality, not only indexable, but with a certain quality. And we also are working with rotating links that exchange every 24 hours. So we have like a living product with living and changing links.
Sounds like you're on top of it.
Yeah. And also to add here, maybe, if you have such a big website, sitemaps are crucial. So it's like a basic SEO task, of course, but it's really crucial if you have so much pages to get into the index. And for the jobs area, something unique applies, because there we have the indexing API from Google, and Google offers that just for job postings, to really send Google all the job postings you have, so all the indexable pages. That's an easy task. But for the other areas, we are also, apart from the XML sitemaps, working with Atom feeds to send Google updated, changes, deleted pages really quickly. So we have a fast indexation and de-indexation of pages as well.
I'm curious to understand a little bit further how you automatically are calculating the score of your pages quickly.
Yeah, so that's something special for the profile section, because it's the biggest part of the website. We have 21 million profiles, so that's like the biggest area we need to work on. It's maybe something we can apply to other areas, but right now we only have this for the profile pages. And it works like that we calculate, or we define the calculation based on the elements on the profile. So we set which elements on the profiles are important for SEO and how much, what is the weight of them in the score, and then the score gets calculated automatically for each profile. And then we have a threshold for indexation. So if a profile is below a certain threshold, it gets automatically a robots no index tag. And every time a user updates their profile and does a meaningful change, this score in the back end gets updated. And also like the no index and index tag if this changes like the indexation.
So if it moves from index to no index, there's an alert that goes out to the profile owner, like, hey, do something better.
Yeah, not to the end user. It's something we only have in the back end and for like our SEO work. Actually, we are working on also making the communication to the user more transparent, because there are other scores we are communicating to the user logged in. But this score right now is only for SEO reasons. But in the future, we want to combine that. And so the user is more aware of, oh, my profile is not in the Google index, but I want it there. So, yeah.
Right, makes sense. Good, okay. Well, we have, I think, time for one more question, yeah? Actually, I think, Hélène, did you get some questions from the audience that you'd like to share?
I did,
okay,
absolutely.
Well, why don't we move to that then?
So first question is, how do you automate, Esther, the indexation of so many pages?
Yeah, I think that's something we just it just answered. So it's an automation in the back end. So the profile quality gets calculated, like I said, for each profile, and every time a user does a change, then the index tag changes. So that's how we handle the indexation for profiles. But also something I mentioned is Atom feeds. That's really important for, like, if you have new profiles, updated profiles, also deleted profiles, because sometimes you really want to get deleted ones really fast out of the index. So Atom feeds. And for the jobs area, the Google indexing API is really important. And for that, you need to have a certain markup on the page to do that, to use that indexing API.
All right, thank you. Another question that we have is, how do you utilize directories and sitemaps to help with this as well?
Yeah, that's basically also something I just mentioned. It's actually not an easy part, because we have over 20 product teams working on the Xing platform. So 20 product teams with product managers and engineers working on several products. And so the information or the pages for the sitemaps are coming not from one central place, but from different teams. So also having something like a centralized application for the sitemap is something crucial, something we have actually. So the team sending the information for the sitemap, for the pages, for the feeds and stuff to one team, and that one team is generating the sitemaps automatically for every product.
For the product.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, thank you. Just remember, everyone, if you've got questions for Esther, you can use Slido there if you're here with us in Paris, and if you're online, the chat section is here for you to ask questions as well. We've got another question for Esther. Could you explain how you define the quality of a page in order to decide whether to link to it or not?
Yeah, like I said, it's something we have only for the profiles right now. We are thinking about something similar for other products, but right now the profiles are in the focus. And it's something about, it's a mix of multiple information. So we want to have the users to fill as much modules on the profile as possible. So something that how many modules the user has filled, but also how long is the content in these modules. So basically it's always about content length, let's say, on the profiles.
Right, okay. Another question, how do you manage fast de-indexation on Google? De-indexation, yeah.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. It's always hard to get pages fastly out of the index, but the atom feeds are really helping there as well. So we are not, it's something different from a classical XML sitemap, because with the atom feeds you also can send redirected pages or deleted pages to Google. So in a normal XML sitemap you would only send 200 pages and accessible pages, but in this case we also have a feed for deleted pages. So we send all deleted pages to Google as well. So the crawler crawls them again and then deleting them out of the index. And we also work with 4.1.0 status code instead of 4.04.
Right, okay. Questions keep coming in. That's great. Keep going. How are you using the rotating links for the internal linking strategies?
So I'm not deep in the technical part of it, but it's basically that the front end is changing the links every 24 hours. So we have let's say a bucket of links we could link in that module. And the module just have 5 places for a link, for example, and we have 20. And then every 24 hours, we would change these 5 links with others. So the front end gets changed every 24 hours.
It's pretty often. All right. How do you check the profile of the users?
How do I check them, or how the score is checked? So I'm not sure if I got the question right.
I'm afraid I don't know.
But so again, that's something to discuss with the engineers. But it's an automatic process. So the score is looking into the modules, how they filled, how many words are in there, for example, and then calculates a score based on that, really automatically. So there's no human being
it's not
looking.
You doing anything about it.
We don't look into. Of course, we need to work on that calculation from time to time. Also the threshold. We are working on the threshold as well. Sometimes we make it higher, so we de-index more pages and look how Google sees it. And also you need to look into the calculation, and then I look into profiles that are perform good, for example, and look what could be criteria for the calculation, but I don't check every profile, of course. It's 21 million by myself, yeah.
Right, one last question. How do you manage to duplicate job posts?
I'm not sure if I can answer this because I'm not sure, but I believe we don't have this kind of problem, so we don't have duplicate. Maybe sometimes really similar, but the company is always changing. So it's not duplicate. It's kind of really similar, and because we are in the focus shift towards the job satisfaction area, we are still on improving our SEO for jobs. So it's not that mature as for the profile section.
Great, thank you. Tanya, do you have any additional questions following everything the audience has asked?
I have one little off-script question. How central is the user-generated content to the future of your SEO strategy?
So the thing is that our main products, the job post as well as the user profiles, are basically user-generated content because we are not making the content. But when we look into the jobs area, it's only the job postings, and we have way more mandatory fields there. So we really can more working on the quality itself than that. And on the user profile, it's quite hard because we always want them to register and don't have a lot of mandatory fields. Right. And for the future strategy, it will be more building products around that. For example, for the jobs area, search result pages where we link to these, that these could also rank then within Google. And also building up and optimizing actually our editorial content we already have on the website is also a big topic. And then it's not user-generated content, but more content created by us.
So really working with their input and then having a bi-directional exchange to feed into and guide that strategy.
Too. And for the profile section, so working on the quality of the profiles is really a huge topic within the company, but it's not like we are not working on that, but other teams, the whole logged-in teams are working on how we could make users to update their profiles or to fill their profiles. And this would be, or this is a huge topic, but it's not an SEO topic per se.
Right, great. Well, thank you so much. This was an amazing conversation and lots of great questions. Really appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much. I think we can give them a round of applause. Thank you, Esther and Tanya, for this interesting conversation.